Guess I'm feeling my liquor.
If the bars of Los Angeles could talk, they'd spill the secrets of old Hollywood's legendary hard drinkers, where each cocktail held a story and every sip concealed a scandal. Today, we're counting down the 50 worst alcoholics in Hollywood history. Your votes, their stories. Here we go. Number 1. Andre the Giant. Andre the Giant, celebrated as the 8th wonder of the world, was a towering French wrestler known for his imposing stature, standing nearly 7.5 feet tall and weighing around 500 pounds. However, it was his legendary consumption of alcohol that earned him a place on this list. Andre's alcohol consumption was nothing short of astonishing. He reportedly consumed approximately 7,000 calories worth of alcohol every day. During one 6-hour drinking session, he managed to consume 119 standard bottles of beer before collapsing in a hotel corridor. One infamous incident took place in Kansas City, where a bar owner allowed Andre to stay as long as he continued drinking. Andre remained there until 5 a.m., having consumed roughly 40 vodka and tonics. As one of the highest-paid wrestlers of his time, a significant portion of Andre's income was spent on beer and hard liquor. After a month of filming The Princess Bride, his bar tab amounted to over $40,000. Number 2. Peter O'Toole. Peter O'Toole, the legendary actor known for his brilliant performances and piercing blue eyes, had a reputation as one of Hollywood's prominent alcoholics. Despite his charming appearance, O'Toole was not immune to the allure of alcohol, and he once quipped that his generation simply drank, whether they had commitments for the day or not. O'Toole even claimed that alcohol enhanced his performances on the big screen. An iconic story from his career involves his role in Lawrence of Arabia, where he and co-star Omar Sharif were reportedly both afraid of camels. To overcome their fears, they decided to be completely drunk for the entire camel riding scene. O'Toole later laughed at the memory, admitting that he didn't remember the scene at all. While O'Toole received 8 Academy Award nominations and earned acclaim for his roles in classic films, his personal life was marked by his struggle with alcohol. He indulged in wild drinking sprees during the filming of Lawrence of Arabia in Beirut, Lebanon, and was reportedly drunk throughout the production of the 1964 film Beckett. O'Toole's excessive drinking and partying took a toll on his health. He eventually gave up drinking after experiencing abdominal pain and warnings about the impact of alcohol on his well-being. However, the years of excessive consumption had already left their mark. In his later years, his once handsome appearance had notably withered, and he passed away in 2013 in a London hospital, having suffered from the effects of drinking and chain smoking. Number 3. Judy Garland. Judy Garland, celebrated as one of the finest actresses of her time and best known for her iconic role as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, faced a tumultuous life that included struggles with drug addiction and ultimately led to her untimely death at the age of 47. Garland's upbringing was far from easy. Her parents had a troubled relationship, and her father, in particular, provided more emotional support than her mother. However, tragedy struck in 1935 when her father died unexpectedly from meningitis. The loss of her father strained Garland's relationship with her mother even further. Reports suggest that Garland's mother started giving her pills when she was only 10 years old. By her late teens, she had become dependent on these pills. Despite signing a contract with MGM to advance her career, the lack of support at home led Garland down the path of drug addiction. During the filming of The Wizard of Oz at the age of 17, she resorted to taking various diet, energy, and sleeping pills to manage her weight and cope with her demanding schedule. As her career continued to flourish, so did her addiction. Garland's dependency on drugs and an unstable upbringing took a heavy toll on her. She went on to be married 5 times, with her 5th husband, Mickey Deans, discovering her lifeless body when he found her bathroom door locked and received no response. Garland's struggles with drug addiction were well documented, and her death, ruled a suicide caused by barbiturates, marked a tragic end to a remarkable career and life. Number 4. W.C. Fields. W.C. Fields, the iconic comedian known for his wit and humor, had a legendary reputation for his love of alcohol. His humorous quips about drinking have become legendary, such as his famous line, quote, "I never drink water. I'm afraid it will become habit-forming." Fields was a man of strict discipline when it came to his drinking habits. He humorously remarked, quote, "I have never imbibed while sleeping, and I drink nothing stronger than gin before breakfast." Born above a bar in the era of Prohibition, he stockpiled thousands of bottles of whiskey and gin in his attic during that time. Even after Prohibition came to an end, Fields continued to maintain a substantial stash of emergency alcohol at home, just in case, as he once explained to Harpo Marx, quote, "Never can be sure Prohibition won't be back, my boy." One of the classic stories about W.C. Fields and his drinking habits involves his time on set. He was known to carry a vacuum flask filled with gin martinis, which he humorously referred to as his lemonade, or, in some versions of the story, his pineapple juice. However, on one occasion, a practical joker decided to switch the contents of his flask with real lemonade, leading to Fields' furious exclamation, quote, "Who put lemonade in my lemonade?"
Aren't you a little confused?
In which way?
Your hat.
Number 5. Errol Flynn. Errol Flynn, renowned for his charismatic performances as a swashbuckling hero in films like Robin Hood and Captain Blood, led a life marked by debauchery and excessive drinking. Flynn, often hailed as the ultimate symbol of masculinity and virility, carried his love for alcohol both on and off film sets. His alcohol consumption was so extravagant that it became a defining aspect of his reputation. One of Flynn's peculiar drinking habits involved injecting vodka into oranges and then munching on them throughout the day. This inventive approach to consuming alcohol provided him with a constant source of intoxication, while masking the scent of alcohol on his breath. His fondness for booze went beyond this unusual practice, as he was known for having bottles of vodka readily available on film sets. Flynn's lifestyle was characterized by reckless womanizing, brawls, cocaine use, and extravagant parties. He even hosted wild parties fueled by sex, alcohol, and cocaine on his private boat. His escapades included making audacious bets, such as wagering $500 with the film crew that he could seduce his co-star Olivia de Havilland. Flynn's drinking adventures included getting rum drunk with a pre-rebellion Fidel Castro, prompting the Warner Brothers studio head to shut down the bar on the studio lot. His bachelor pad in Malibu, which he shared with fellow actor David Niven, earned the nickname Cirrhosis by the Sea due to its notoriety for both drunken excess and sexual debauchery. Despite suffering a health scare in his early 30s when he collapsed in an elevator and received a grim diagnosis about his damaged heart and lungs, Flynn continued his excessive drinking and reckless behavior. Tragically, he died at the age of 50 due to a heart attack, leaving behind a legacy of both cinematic prowess and legendary indulgence. Flynn's death was marked by his bloated appearance, obesity, and cirrhosis of the liver. Number 6. Oliver Reed. Oliver Reed, a prominent English actor during the late 60s and early 70s, was famous for his roles in films like The Trap, Oliver, and The Three Musketeers. Off-screen, Reed was notorious for his excessive drinking and unruly behavior. He once boasted that he did not, quote, live in the world of sobriety, and his actions were a testament to that statement. Reed's drinking escapades included consuming up to 20 pints of lager with a chaser of gin or creme de menthe in a single setting. He even drank 126 pints of beer in 24 hours on one occasion. His drunken antics ranged from pretending to play rugby with a baby during a christening to exposing himself in public. Reed's career was marked by scandalous stories of his intoxicated behavior. Tragically, he suffered a heart attack and passed away in 1999 during the filming of Gladiator, leaving behind a legacy of both remarkable acting and legendary drinking.
When enough men have died, perhaps you will have your freedom.
Number 7. Richard Harris. Richard Harris, another member of the group of inebriated actors that included Peter O'Toole, Richard Burton, and Oliver Reed, was known for his excessive alcohol consumption. Born in Ireland, Harris's relationship with alcohol began at an early age, marked by reckless incidents such as crashing his father's delivery truck after a few pints at the pub as a teenager. He achieved acting success both on the London stage and in Hollywood, which allowed him to indulge his appetite for alcohol. Harris's drinking habits included consuming up to 2.5 bottles of vodka per day. He was a regular in London's drunk tank and known to order 6 double vodkas as his, quote, usual. Harris's erratic behavior included swinging from manic joy to black rages off-set, affecting his personal and professional life. He passed away in 2002. Number 8. John Barrymore. John Barrymore, a renowned actor from the early 1900s and a member of the famous Barrymore family, grappled with alcoholism from a young age. He started drinking at just 14 years old, and his drinking problem worsened over time. By the 1930s, Barrymore's reputation had declined to the point where he was blacklisted by several major studios. Despite his early acclaim for Shakespearean performances, Mr. Hyde and Sherlock Holmes, his alcoholism increasingly consumed him. He relied on cue cards to complete his roles due to the effects of alcohol on his memory, and his hands shook uncontrollably. In 1942, at the age of 60, Barrymore passed away, suffering from cirrhosis, kidney disease, and chronic edema.
Boys, if I'm not going too far.
Number 9. Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra, the legendary singer and actor, had a well-known fondness for alcohol, particularly Jack Daniel's whiskey. He was rumored to have consumed an entire bottle of Jack Daniel's by himself daily. Sinatra's signature drink included 4 ice cubes, 2 fingers of Jack Daniel's, and a splash of water. While he was a charismatic and talented entertainer, his drinking habits occasionally led to confrontations with journalists and fellow actors. Sinatra's behavior could turn mean when he was drunk, and he had a reputation for picking fights in these situations. For instance, he became aggressive when consuming gin. Sinatra was a part of the American Olympic drinking team, a group of his friends and fellow celebrities known for their love of alcohol. He passed away in 1998 at the age of 82 and was even buried with a bottle of Jack Daniel's in his casket. Number 10. Richard Burton. Richard Burton, known for his illustrious acting career and tumultuous relationship with Elizabeth Taylor, battled alcoholism throughout his life. He reportedly began drinking at a very young age, around 12 years old, and his addiction to alcohol persisted until his death. During the peak of his alcoholism in the 1970s, Burton was consuming an astonishing 2 to 3 bottles of vodka daily. Despite his remarkable talent and reputation as an actor, his excessive drinking often affected his work. Burton's iconic role as a hard-drinking college professor in Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf earned him an Oscar nomination. However, his alcoholism continued to take a toll on his health, and he struggled with balance issues while filming The Klansman in 1974. It wasn't until later in life, amid a bitter divorce from Elizabeth Taylor, that Burton checked into rehab to address his alcoholism. Unfortunately, the damage had already been done, and he passed away in 1984 at the age of 58, suffering from cirrhosis of the liver and kidney disease. Number 11. Humphrey Bogart. Humphrey Bogart, widely regarded as one of the greatest actors in American cinema history, had a notorious reputation for his drinking habits. Despite his acclaimed career and iconic roles, Bogart's excessive drinking led to erratic behavior both on and off the set. His love for alcohol often resulted in being drunk or hungover during filming, affecting his professionalism. Bogart's behavior ranged from riding a bicycle around the studio in pajamas to bizarre incidents like attempting to take a safe from a restaurant. His struggles with alcohol intensified over the years and contributed to health issues that ultimately led to his death in 1957.
I don't understand. What about you?
I'm staying here with him till the plane gets safely away.
No, Richard.
Number 12. Paul Lynde. Paul Lynde, known for his comedic talents and memorable roles, faced his own demons due to alcohol. He frequented underground gay bars in Hollywood, where he sometimes got into trouble because of his drinking problems. Lynde's intoxication often led to his expulsion from bars and even involvement in drunken police chases. His struggle with alcohol contributed to his declining career and reputation. Tragically, Paul Lynde passed away at the age of 55 due to alcohol-induced damage to his heart. Number 13. Elizabeth Taylor. Elizabeth Taylor, celebrated for her beauty and acting prowess, grappled with alcoholism and painkiller addiction for many years. Taylor's openness about her struggles with addiction helped destigmatize the topic. In 1983, she became the first celebrity to admit herself to the Betty Ford Center, founded by former First Lady Betty Ford, who also battled addiction. Taylor's decision to seek treatment had a profound impact, inspiring countless individuals to confront their own addictions. Her journey toward recovery allowed her to redirect her energy towards raising awareness about AIDS, making a significant contribution to the cause. Number 14. Tula Bankhead. Tula Bankhead, the actress known for her vivacious personality and unconventional lifestyle, was infamous for mixing alcohol with cocaine and various other drugs. She was a fixture at the Algonquin Hotel and frequented the company of hard-drinking socialites and members of the Algonquin Round Table. Her partying lifestyle and indulgence in substances took a toll on her health and appearance. Bankhead's relentless consumption included whiskey, poppers, horse tranquilizers, and a special cocktail of Coca-Cola and spirits of ammonia. Her later years were marked by excessive bourbon consumption, a variety of pills, and cocaine. Her last recorded words were, quote, "codeine, bourbon," underscoring the extent of her addiction. Number 15. Ethel Barrymore. Ethel Barrymore, a prominent member of the legendary Barrymore family, faced her own struggles with alcohol from an early age. Despite her immense talent on both stage and screen, she turned to alcohol as a means of coping with personal troubles. Like her brother John Barrymore, Ethel's drinking became consuming, threatening her career and well-being. However, she managed to break free from alcohol's grip in her 30s and became a teetotaler, recognizing the destructive impact it had had on her family. Ethel Barrymore's illustrious career spanned 6 decades, and her ability to overcome her drinking problem marked a significant triumph in her life.
Miss Barrymore, would you mind telling me your reason for retiring from the theater?
Just want to. I think I've done it long enough and I want to stay at home.
Number 16. Barbara Lee Payton. Barbara Lee Payton, a promising Hollywood actress of the 40s and 50s, saw her life and career crumble due to alcoholism. Despite her initial success and collaborations with renowned actors, Payton's personal life was tumultuous. She engaged in numerous affairs, experienced violent relationships, and faced legal issues, including shoplifting and prostitution. Alcohol became her escape from the chaos, leading to worsening addiction in the 1960s. Losing custody of her son intensified her struggles, and she faced public drunkenness and disorderly conduct charges. Tragically, at the age of 39, Barbara Lee Payton succumbed to heart and liver disease, her life marred by the destructive impact of alcohol. Number 17. Orson Wells. Orson Wells, a renowned filmmaker and actor, had a well-documented history of alcoholism. His love for Negroni, a cocktail of gin and scotch, was notorious. Wells's relationship with alcohol began with a troubled family background, particularly his father's alcoholism, which led to their estrangement. Wells's endorsement of Negroni while working in Rome helped popularize the cocktail in the U.S. His excessive drinking, however, contributed to his weight gain, and he reached nearly 400 pounds. Wells's drinking habits affected his behavior on set, where he would often consume alcohol between takes. Number 18. Alan Ladd. Alan Ladd Jr., the acclaimed actor known for his roles in numerous films, suffered from alcoholism that had a profound impact on his life and career. Ladd's addiction developed in part due to a series of illnesses and accidents, including a severe hand injury and shingles. To alleviate his pain and insomnia, Ladd turned to sedatives and alcohol, which provided some relief. However, on November 2, 1962, he was found with a self-inflicted gunshot wound in his chest, an incident he claimed was accidental. Tragically, on January 29, 1964, at the age of 50, Alan Ladd passed away from an overdose of sedatives and alcohol. Number 19. Anne Margaret. Anne Margaret, known as one of the original sex kittens in Hollywood, struggled with alcoholism amid other challenges in her life. Despite her youthful exuberance on screen, her off-screen life was marked by a love for partying and fun. Her notorious affair with Elvis Presley during the filming of Viva Las Vegas contributed to her descent into full-blown alcoholism. Her drinking began as a means to cope with anxiety about nude scenes during the filming of RPM. By 1971, her drinking had spiraled out of control, affecting her ability to distinguish reality from fantasy. And Margaret eventually conquered her addiction in 1980 and candidly discussed her journey to recovery in her autobiography. Number 20. John Wayne. John Wayne, the iconic actor known for his cowboy roles and larger-than-life presence, had a hidden struggle with alcohol. While he was celebrated as a professional on set, his reputation as a mean drunk was well known among those in the industry. Despite his success, Wayne's penchant for alcohol led to erratic behavior and a preference for morning shoots. He insisted on completing scenes before noon, because by the afternoon, alcohol would turn him into a hostile and difficult collaborator. Wayne's alcoholism was rooted in a time when drinking habits were different, and he often indulged without considering hydration or its effects on his health. This lifestyle choice impacted his ability to work regularly and maintain a fresh and early start on set, setting him apart from his co-stars. Number 21. Gail Russell. Gail Russell, a talented actress, reluctantly entered the world of Hollywood stardom. A shy and introverted child, she dreamed of a career in art but was thrust into acting due to her striking appearance. Despite her initial lack of training or visible talent, her looks propelled her to fame. However, the pressure of stardom led to her reliance on alcohol. In 1949, Russell married actor Guy Madison, but rumors suggested a romantic involvement with John Wayne, her co-star in multiple films. Her troubled marriage, along with a series of drunk driving arrests, worsened her alcoholism. In 1953, she sought treatment in a sanitarium in Seattle. Her life remained tumultuous, marked by divorces and struggles with alcohol, which ultimately contributed to her death at a young age. Number 22. Montgomery Cliff. Montgomery Cliff, a talented and methodical actor, grappled with alcohol addiction throughout his life. As a closeted gay man in a time when homosexuality was stigmatized, Cliff used alcohol as a coping mechanism. His struggles with depression and loneliness further fueled his addiction. Cliff's alcoholism contributed to a devastating car accident, where he drove off the road and severely damaged his once handsome face. Despite this, he continued to work in the industry, known for being unreliable on set due to his addiction. While filming The Misfits, his drinking led to erratic behavior, prompting Marilyn Monroe to comment on their shared struggles. Cliff's addiction eventually led to his early death at the age of 45, a result of heart problems exacerbated by years of substance abuse.
Crew go for his head.
Number 23. Spencer Tracy. Spencer Tracy, a legendary Hollywood actor, faced a challenging battle with alcohol addiction. Tracy's reputation for bar fights and aggressive behavior while intoxicated became well known. His struggles with alcohol became so problematic that 20th Century Fox confronted him, offering him a choice: quit drinking or face dismissal. Unyielding, Tracy walked out and was subsequently picked up by MGM, where they established a dedicated team known as the Tracy Squad to manage his alcohol-related issues. This squad was on standby, ready to intervene whenever Tracy's drinking spiraled out of control. Tracy's relationship with alcohol was complex, marked by periods of sobriety and destructive binging. His addiction was exacerbated by his fear of flying, leading him to take cross-country train journeys accompanied by bottles of alcohol. Number 24. Robert Mitchum. Robert Mitchum, the legendary actor, had a notorious incident that shed light on his struggles with alcohol addiction. During the filming of His Kind of Woman, he initiated a brawl with stuntmen while intoxicated, turning a staged fight scene into a real altercation. Mitchum, known for his dark and brooding demeanor, often brought chaos in the wake of his drunkenness. He gained a reputation for his off-screen antics and even faced arrest after becoming a target of a police sting operation aimed at Hollywood stars who partied excessively. Mitchum's penchant for heavy drinking was well known, with tales of him drinking in excess from morning to night, often leading to hotel room destruction and unpredictable behavior. His issues with alcohol were further complicated by his defiant attitude, earning him a stay in jail. Number 25. Sterling Hayden. Sterling Hayden, known for his multifaceted life as both an actor and a seafarer, was undoubtedly an interesting individual. While he expressed disdain for his acting career, felt shame for naming names before the House Un-American Activities Committee in the 1950s, and took great pride in his seafaring accomplishments, Hayden also grappled with severe alcoholism, a significant aspect of his life. During the filming of a documentary, he engaged in extended, rambling conversations with the filmmakers, all while consuming copious amounts of wine and hashish. This relentless drinking led to a meandering and often incoherent dialogue, with discussions extending beyond their natural conclusions. The filmmakers, however, never dared to call cut. Sterling Hayden shared little about his Hollywood days, but had many anecdotes about his struggles with alcohol. He sounded apologetic and bewildered by his drinking, often questioning why he indulged despite not feeling particularly unhappy. The filmmakers observed his unpredictable and intoxicated behavior, displaying an almost nonchalant attitude toward their subject.
I may be around a while. Take good care of these.
Number 26. Rita Hayworth. Rita Hayworth, the iconic Hollywood actress, faced a challenging period in the late 1970s when news stories surfaced about her struggles with alcoholism. Reports indicated that she had been taken to Hoag Hospital in Newport Beach, unable to provide consent for treatment due to her condition. During this time, Hayworth was living alone and grappling with alcoholism. A fan and artist from Newport Beach noticed her struggles and befriended her, providing support. However, on one occasion when he briefly left, he returned to find that Hayworth had barricaded herself inside and needed rescue. Number 27. Brri Crawford. Brri Crawford, known for his role as Chief Matthews in Highway Patrol, faced a relentless battle with alcoholism during his career. The grueling demands of a weekly TV series only exacerbated his drinking problem. His penchant for alcohol led to multiple arrests and DUIs, earning him the dubious nickname Old 502, due to his habit of driving under the influence of alcohol. To manage his alcoholism on set, Officer Frank Runyon, a technical advisor for the California Highway Patrol, was tasked with keeping Crawford sober. The production company even had to shoot some scenes on private roads to enable Crawford to drive. His struggle with alcohol ultimately strained relationships both within the show and with the CHP, underlying the destructive impact of his addiction. Number 28. William Holden. William Holden's journey was marred by a lifelong battle with drinking and alcoholism. By the 1960s, the toll of his years of heavy drinking had begun to manifest in his appearance, and he found himself losing out on roles to younger actors. In 1981, a tragedy struck as Holden's health deteriorated significantly. His troubles with alcohol had left him relatively isolated, and he had developed a habit of disappearing for days on end. When the building manager, Bill Martin, finally checked on him, it was too late. Holden had passed away in his apartment, a victim of his own addiction. The scene revealed empty vodka and beer bottles alongside evidence of a struggle, highlighting the tragic consequences of his dependence on alcohol. Number 29. Mary Aster. Mary Aster, an acclaimed American actress known for her roles in movies like The Maltese Falcon and The Great Lie, faced a tumultuous personal life marked by scandalous divorce and custody battles. Her battle with alcoholism spanned 2 decades, starting in the 1930s. She candidly admitted that she turned to alcohol to cope with stress, loneliness, and insecurity in her life. The breaking point came in 1949 when she attempted suicide and experienced a nervous breakdown, leading her to check into a sanitarium for alcoholics. Aster credited her recovery to Alcoholics Anonymous and her faith in God. Despite her struggles, she continued to act in movies and on TV shows until the 1960s, eventually becoming an author. She passed away in 1987 at the age of 81.
The lie was in the way I said it, not at all in what I said. It's my own fault if you can't believe me now.
Number 30. Robin Williams. Robin Williams, the beloved comedian and actor, had his own battle with substance abuse. Early in his career, he struggled with both cocaine and alcohol abuse, a pattern he eventually broke after the tragic death of his friend John Belushi in 1982 due to a cocaine and heroin overdose. Despite overcoming cocaine addiction, alcohol remained a recurring challenge in Williams's life until his passing in 2014. He openly discussed his struggles with addiction, even incorporating them into his stand-up routines. In a 2006 interview with Diane Sawyer, Williams shed light on the unpredictable nature of addiction, remarking, quote, "It's addiction, not caused by anything, it's just there." Sadly, Williams passed away in 2014, with reports suggesting that he had entered rehab shortly before his death. Number 31. Albert Finney. Albert Finney, a prominent English actor celebrated for his roles in films like Tom Jones and Murder on the Orient Express, had a remarkable career. However, his life was marred by heavy drinking for many years. He once admitted to drinking excessively during lunch breaks, consuming 3 or 4 pints of alcohol. Reflecting on those times, he remarked, quote, "It was fun at the time, but now I look back and think, how did I do that?" In 1984, a diagnosis of kidney cancer served as a turning point. He chose to quit drinking and went on to survive the disease. Finney continued to act until 2012, leaving a legacy in the world of cinema before passing away in 2019 at the age of 82. Number 32. Leonard Nimoy. Leonard Nimoy, renowned as Mr. Spock from Star Trek, grappled with an alcohol addiction during the iconic series filming. Nimoy revealed that he initially turned to alcohol as a coping mechanism for the grueling days on the Star Trek set. William Shatner, his co-star, observed that Nimoy drank to numb the disappointments that came with stardom. What started as a casual drink soon spiraled out of control, driven by his addictive personality. It wasn't until after the show concluded that Nimoy sought help through rehab. Despite overcoming his alcohol addiction, Nimoy's life was ultimately claimed by another vice, smoking, which led to his passing at the age of 83. Number 33. Ava Gardner. Ava Gardner was a Hollywood legend known for her beauty, wit, and fierce independence. Her life was a whirlwind of parties, passionate relationships, and devil-may-care attitude. Alcohol was an integral part of her persona, often unleashing her inhibitions and leading to wild adventures. Whether matching Hemingway drink for drink, being the love of Frank Sinatra's life, or engaging in eccentric activities like dancing with gypsies and participating in bullfights, alcohol played a significant role in her life. On the set of Night of the Iguana, Gardner's refusal to film a night scene led to a tequila-fueled standoff with the director. Her overexuberance sometimes led her to being banned from upscale venues, making her a legendary figure in the world of Hollywood excess.
What's different?
I don't know. Something in the way my heart beats. As if something very good were going to come out of tonight.
Number 34. Lee Marvin. Lee Marvin was a complex and unique individual renowned not only for his acting prowess, but also for his unconventional lifestyle. Despite hailing from a lineage of historical significance, Marvin's life took a dark turn, deeply influenced by his traumatic experiences during wartime. He turned to alcohol as a means to cope with his inner demons. As his health deteriorated, plagued by breathing difficulties and steroid treatments, Marvin's addiction remained steadfast. His tragic end came in 1987 when he suffered a fatal heart attack at the age of 63. His struggles with alcohol, nightmares, and penchant for provoking fights were haunting elements of his life. Number 35. Drew Barrymore. Drew Barrymore's introduction to the glitzy Hollywood party scene happened at a remarkably young age, setting the stage for a tumultuous journey ahead. By the tender age of 14, she found herself in rehab battling cocaine addiction. Her struggles with substance abuse extended to alcohol. Barrymore candidly acknowledged her challenges, recognizing the grip that alcohol had on her life. She once reflected, quote, "The drinking thing for me was a constant, like you cannot change. You are weak and incapable of doing what's best for you. You keep thinking you will master this thing, and it's getting the better of you." Number 36. Gloria Graham. Gloria Graham's life was marked by tumultuous relationships, including 2 marriages to a father and son. Her romance with director Nicholas Ray, known for Rebel Without a Cause, was marred by alcohol, drug abuse, and Ray's gambling habit. In 1974, Graham was diagnosed with cancer, prompting her to undergo radiation therapy, adopt a healthier lifestyle by quitting smoking and drinking, and achieving remission. However, cancer returned in 1980, ultimately claiming her life at the age of 57. Number 37. Glenn Ford. Glenn Ford's personal life was as dramatic as his on-screen roles. He engaged in a brief affair with Marilyn Monroe, a 6-month fling with Judy Garland, and a tumultuous 40-year on- and off relationship with Rita Hayworth. After a 16-year marriage to Eleanor Powell, he embarked on 3 more marriages, often pursuing younger women who took advantage of his fortune. Ford's drinking problem spiraled out of control, nearly costing him his life, and leaving him unable to walk for a decade before his passing in 2006 at the age of 90.
Amen.
Number 38. Bela Lugosi. In the twilight of his life, horror icon Bela Lugosi battled a severe morphine addiction and alcoholism. During a film shoot with director Ed Wood, Lugosi's addiction became alarmingly apparent. Wood, tasked with delivering Lugosi his requested scotch, discovered the actor hiding behind a curtain. Lugosi emerged, tearful, with a gun in hand, threatening to take Wood with him to his impending death. Wood, understanding the gravity of the situation, pacified Lugosi with his favorite drink, Boilermakers, which helped him drink himself to sleep. Number 39. Dennis Price. Dennis Price's life took a tragic turn, influenced by a failing marriage, concealed homosexuality, and various other mysteries. In 1954, he made a desperate suicide attempt by sticking his head in an oven, narrowly saved by a timely intervention. His struggles persisted as he sought solace in alcohol. Co-stars recalled that Price would begin his day with a crate of Guinness and consume it alongside copious amounts of scotch, often arriving at the studio with a bag full of booze. As his addiction worsened, his once charming persona and good looks faded, leading to his demise from liver cirrhosis. Number 40. Joan Crawford. Joan Crawford's Hollywood career was not the only thing fueled by ambition. Her personal life was driven by her thirst for alcohol. Married to the CEO of PepsiCo, she took on the role of the company's official ambassador, leveraging her fame to boost business. As she toured the world as Pepsi's envoy, her demands were nothing short of extravagant. At each stop, she insisted on receiving 2/5 of Smirnoff vodka, 1/5 of Old Forester bourbon, 1/5 of scotch, 1/5 of Beefeater gin, 2 bottles of champagne, and naturally a case of Pepsi. Thankfully for Pepsi, her beverage of choice didn't include Coca-Cola. Number 41. Anne Sheridan. Anne Sheridan's battle with alcohol took a unique twist. She, along with stars like Judy Garland and Errol Flynn, resorted to creative ways to hide their habit, including injecting vodka into whole oranges. Such methods underscore the lengths to which individuals can go to conceal their addiction.
It is believed that Little Dopey talked too much and let slip a clue to the police by which a gangster was arrested.
Number 42. Bette Davis. Bette Davis, the legendary actress known for her exceptional talent, faced personal struggles and a tumultuous personal life. While there have been conflicting accounts of her mother's behavior and their relationship, it's clear that Davis dealt with her own challenges, including struggles with alcohol and mental health. Her marriage also faced difficulties, marked by alcohol abuse and domestic violence, ultimately leading to her divorce in 1960. Number 43. Bernard Lee. Bernard Lee's impressive acting career spanned over 50 years, with numerous film and television credits to his name. However, personal tragedies, including the tragic death of his wife in a house fire and a brutal mugging, sent him spiraling into depression and alcohol abuse. His addiction became so problematic that during breaks from filming the Edgar Wallace TV series, he had to be locked in his dressing room to prevent him from drinking. Remarkably, Lee found ways to indulge even in confinement, showcasing the extent of his addiction. Fellow actor Richard Burton once conceded that Lee outpaced him in drinking. Number 44. Jackie Gleason. Jackie Gleason, known as the Great One, had an affinity for alcoholic indulgence. Whiskey was his drink of choice, and he humorously quipped, "Time for another," whenever asked about the time. Gleason's legendary capacity for drinking was evident in a famous bet at Toots Shores, where he challenged the owner to consume a bottle of scotch, losing to Shore in just an hour. Even as he faced health issues like diabetes and overuse of diet pills, Gleason refused to abandon his drinking habit, showcasing the power of addiction even in the face of adversity. Number 45. Bud Abbott. Bud Abbott's partnership with Lou Costello faced its own challenges, particularly due to Abbott's battle with alcohol. His struggles began as he turned to heavy drinking to cope with the effects of epilepsy. This addiction didn't set well with Costello, given his wife's own issues with alcohol. Despite these personal demons, Abbott's early years saw him working at the Casino Theater in Brooklyn. Over time, he ventured into putting together touring burlesque shows, highlighting how one can rise in the entertainment industry, even while grappling with personal demons. Number 46. Jane Russell. Jane Russell's life took unexpected turns, including a publicized 4-day jail stint for drunken driving in 1978. Her journey to sobriety began in the wake of this incident. At age 60, she re-entered the spotlight as the face of a brand catering to full-figured women, challenging societal norms. Russell openly discussed the conflict between her faith and her image, and she expressed regret for her extramarital affairs, divorce, and battle with alcoholism.
This is the seat they assigned me, lady.
How much did it cost you?
Number 47. Fatty Arbuckle. Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle faced a tumultuous childhood, with an absentee father who subjected him to physical abuse. These early experiences shaped his shyness and fueled his reliance on alcohol to cope. Arbuckle's struggles extended beyond his personal life, as he faced allegations of rape and manslaughter, leading to a ruined career and battles with alcoholism and depression. Yet he strove to make a comeback, illustrating the resilience within even those who have fallen far from grace. Number 48. Desi Arnaz. Desi Arnaz, known for his iconic role on I Love Lucy, struggled with alcoholism throughout his life. While he didn't drink on set, alcohol played a prominent role in his personal life, often leading to troubling incidents. His reliance on alcohol became a major source of concern for his then-wife, Lucille Ball, eventually leading to their divorce. Arnaz resisted seeking help for his alcohol use until a pivotal moment following his wife Edie's death. It was his son, Desi Arnaz Jr., who finally convinced him to confront his addiction and attend AA meetings, marking a turning point in his battle against alcoholism. Number 49. Dana Andrews. Dana Andrews, a talented actor, grappled with alcoholism for years, impacting his on-set behavior. What began as a daring adventure during Prohibition soon spiraled out of control. He termed himself a conditioned drinker after realizing he couldn't leave alcohol behind. His struggles climaxed in 1940 when he was jailed for driving under the influence. Number 50. Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy, born into abject poverty in 1924 Texas, faced a harsh upbringing. His father, Emmett Murphy, a sharecropper, grappled with alcoholism, often vanishing for months and squandering his meager earnings on booze. Audie, along with his siblings, toiled in cotton fields from the age of 5, enduring hunger and homelessness. His life seemed like an endless struggle. Despite his rags-to-riches story as a war hero, Audie bore the scars of his past. Post-traumatic stress disorder haunted him, complicating his life. He grappled with a volatile personality, addiction to drugs, alcohol, and gambling, making his post-war years a tumultuous battle. Thank you for joining us on this fascinating journey through Hollywood's history of alcoholism. Stay tuned for more shocking stories in the next episode. And remember to like, share, and subscribe.